Okay. Well, hey, I'm Corey from Path of Friendship, and welcome to another Mindful Mutt Moments. Today we have Bhakti with us. I don't know, Bodhi will probably be he's sitting over there, but he'll probably join us in a little bit. But in Mindful Mutt Moments, we take a moment every day, or a few moments every day, to kind of get on the same page as our dogs. To really connect with them in the present moment and being mindful. In order to be friends with our dogs, we have to share an experience. And our dog's experience of reality, of life, is what's happening right now. They're not set up to have these enormous powers of prediction the way we have, or being able to reminisce and use that further in the past ability of memory the way we have. They have those, but they're small in comparison to their ability to be immersed in the present moment. And we're the opposite. We are very skilled at prediction and memory and planning, and our present moment is usually kind of ignored. We're always thinking somewhere else. So to be real good friends and to connect with them, we have to be watching, as I call it, watching the same show. In other words, the same show is what's happening right now. And I can't get Bhakti to reminisce or to think about things that may happen next week, but what I can do is I can join her and watch the show that she's watching and have her join her experience. So that's what mindfulness is. It's about experiencing the present. That's all it is. It's nothing fancy. You don't have to sit in any fancy positions, make yourself into a pretzel, or have images and focus on mantras or anything like that. Those are all fine and good, but it's not real mindfulness. Mindfulness is basically just the experiencing and the engagement with the present moment of what's happening. And so one way I love to engage with the present moment is to physically connect and be with my dogs. So by petting them, rather than just petting them and thinking of other things, I'm petting them and feeling the fur, feeling the textures, and paying attention to my experience of breathing, her experience of breathing, and just not getting stuck on thoughts and stuff that may be coming on around. Because Bhakti's not doing that. She's not lying there thinking about things. She's just lying there in an experiential domain. We live in a thought domain. They live in experiential domain. So mindfulness is about sharing that with our dogs and being in that experiential domain. And the nice thing about that is it definitely helps us deal with some of the stress that's going on and the anxiety, especially during this time with a pandemic, and most people are sequestered in their homes and under lockdown, and there's just a lot of unease and stress, and routines are off, and we don't know what's going to happen next, and there's just so much unknown, which adds an awful lot to our anxiety and our stress. And as a result, our dogs, through emotional contagion, pick up in our anxiety and our stress. So by connecting on these mindful moments, we help ease that in. And Bhakti's being so good here, just lying down. And in one of the things I wanted to talk about today is this an idea that in order for our dogs to be good dogs, they have to be obedient. See, part of mindfulness and part of Path of Friendship and what I do is I work on getting the connection in there. When I work with a client or a dog that they may be having issues together, they always usually expect me to jump right into doing specific training exercises, but I usually don't do that because it's not about healing, H-E-E-L, it's about healing, and healing, H-E-A-L, healing the divide between us. I've said this before, but it's an important concept. And it's not about control, it's about connection. And one of the ways we disconnect from our dogs is to have a long list of criteria of what's going to make them good. I do a lot of hiking with my dogs, and sometimes when we're hiking, a jogger will pass by, or someone on a mountain bike will pass by, and what I like to have my dogs do is be respectful of others on the trail, and so I they like to move off to the side and wait for them, the jogger or the mountain biker or even other hiker to pass us by. And I'm always struck because everybody comments and they always say, "Oh, what good dogs." And they keep going. But they're not using the word good as good. They're using the word good as obedient. In other words, we have equated the word good dog with obedient dog. And I'm a little put off by that, I have to tell you, because to me, my dogs are good whether they are obedient or not. They are their own persons. They are their own creatures. And I think my dogs are incredibly special and unique, even when they may not be acting up to this list of criteria. We kind of have this idea that all dogs should fit sort of this Procrustean bed of behavior and existence that I don't know where it comes. Maybe it comes off of a Disney movie or it comes off of a show on TV that all dogs should act a certain way. And to me, that's kind of ridiculous. In fact, we even have things like good citizenship where dogs have to all perform these specific tasks in order to be good citizens. I have to tell you, I think that is doing a disservice, because if they don't do that, we automatically will say, well, they're not good enough. They're not good dogs. And nothing could be furthest from the truth. There was a movie, and I think it was also a book, a while back. And if you're my generation, you'll get it. If not, look this up. It was called The Stepford Wives. And it really was, I don't want to go into the movie, but basically what they did was they created these people, these women, to be these perfect, quote-unquote, perfect companions by fitting all these kind of criteria here. And so I always call what we're going through with our dogs is the Stepfordization of dogs, trying to make them all into the exact same, as if they all come off some kind of assembly line somewhere. And when we feel that way, what we're seeing is our expectations of them and not them themselves. Bhakti here is a perfect example. When I first got Bhakti, I had just lost my dog Cosmo. I don't know if you can see his picture up here, but I had lost my dog Cosmo after 12 years. And it was devastating. And he was a great friend. We had an incredible relationship there, and very connected to me, and I was very connected to him. When I first got Bhakti, I remember when I first met her, she never really looked quite at me. She was always watching to see where. She was only 4 months old, but she was looking for the squirrels or looking for the chipmunks or seeing what was beyond there. It wasn't that she didn't want to be with me, but she was very independent. And when I first got her home, very, very independent. And I'll tell you a few other things. I had this list of criteria, having Cosmo for so long, that, well, a dog should be connected to me. Not only that, she was a she, and I always had male dogs. And she was this brindle coat, and I was never a fan of a brindle coated dog. So right away, all these check marks on the list weren't really there. You know what? I'm happy to say that we are closer than any dog I've ever had, and she's an amazing dog because of who she is, not because of my checklist of things. I didn't create her and make her fit those ideas of that criteria. She's a good dog whether she fits that checklist or not. And that's part of what being friends are, and that's part of what connecting with our dogs are, is to love them and accept them for who they are without going through this litany of checklists and this strict criteria and these expectations. You know, shelters, animal shelters, you walk into any shelter, all you see in the cages there are dogs that didn't live up to expectations. And it's not the dog's fault. It's a fault of those expectations, and it's the fault of somehow putting it out there that only obedient, well-mannered dogs are good dogs. Nothing could be further from the truth. Your dog is perfect. Our dogs are perfect just the way they are. The old saying in Zen is, you are perfect just the way you are. And there's always room for improvement. So it doesn't mean that things can't change, which is fine too. But whether they do or not, that's not the issue. The issue is that we need to get past our expectations and see the reality and love them for who they are. There's always something wonderful to love in there. Because part of it is expectations are fixed. They are where you kind of write it down and it's locked in there. But a real dog is a constantly changing, every moment by moment by moment, this sort of stream of things going on. Bhakti's not the same moment to moment, nor am I, nor are you, nor is anybody. We're always changing. Physically we're changing. Atoms come and go, cells die and reborn, and we are changing along with our environment moment by moment. And if we don't connect in each moment, and if we don't see the perfection of each moment with our dogs, we're really missing out at that moment on it. It's like watching a fantastic show on TV and not being able to hit the pause button. You know, years ago we didn't hit the pause button, we had to run and get a snack, we missed something. Well, I don't want to miss any moment with Bhakti. I don't want to miss a single moment with her if I don't have to, because it goes so fast, and you know that. But she is a good dog. My dog Bodhi and Cecil and all the dogs I've had, whether or not they were obedient or not, they were good dogs, because my expectation of them, I take and I put aside. There is no expectation. I love them for who they are, not what I want them to be. That's the foundation, that's the friendship that we must have. So I want you to start thinking about your checklist that you have of criteria, and see if there are things on there that maybe you can change and turn around. I know with Bhakti, I learned to love the brindle coat. I learned to love the fact that she is independent and likes to be a lot of times by herself. I respect that. I admire certain things in her. And that's all because I got rid of that checklist and decided to connect with her for who she is right now. And that's really what friendship is about. If you have a friend and you say, well, I'm only going to be your friend if you fit all this criteria, how is that a friend? That's not. That's self-serving. Friendship is selfless. And so Bhakti and I, along with my other guys, we're all friends because we accept each other. Hey, our dogs accept us exactly as we are. Our dogs don't say, hey, you know what, if you don't give me 3 biscuits a day and only 2 biscuits a day, I'm not going to be your friend. I'm going to go find somebody else. I'm going to dump you and go get another person to live with. They don't do that. They accept us for who they are, and they love us for who they are without this criteria, long list of things, this Stepfordization of dogs, as if they came off an assembly line somewhere and they were all the same. They're not. The uniqueness and the specialness of each individual dog will, in the history of the universe, will never happen again. That's why it's important to connect with them and be friends with them on a mindful basis every day. So, take a moment, look at your dog and see the magic and the wonder, and have that sense of awe about who they are, not just what they can do, not just what they can be, but who they are. And you really find the connection and the friendship will grow deeper than you can ever imagine. All right, so I hope you take some time with your dog every day and do this, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.